Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be tearing down the JBL Xtreme 5. The Xtreme 5 is built for people who want portability, along with big sound, big bass, and big durability. It pushes up to 130 watts of power alone and uses JBL new AI sound boost to stay loud and clean. So if you're thinking about buying the JBL Xtreme 5 and want to see what your money is getting you, then stick around. So without further ado, let's get into this teardown. First off, let's start with the speaker grill. To remove the grill, we'll start by carefully prying along the bottom back side and then work our way around to the front. Once it's fully loosened, the grill can be removed. JBL uses a reinforced woven fabric mesh that's tough, flexible, and acoustically transparent. Besides giving the Xtreme 5 its signature look, the grill also protects the tweeters and woofer, while still allowing sound to pass through cleanly. Next, we'll remove the rubberized button cover on the top of the speaker. To do this, we'll remove the 4 screw from the top and 4 screw from the back side. Once all 8 screws are removed, we can gently pry the cover off. It is a nice, soft, high quality rubberized piece that sits over the control button and help protect the button mechanism underneath, while also giving the top speaker a clean and durable finish. Next, we'll take off the rubber cover for the hook, and then a total of 4 screws to take out both the strap hooks. These hooks provide reinforced mounting points for the shoulder straps to clip onto. Once the hooks are removed, we're left with a silicone cup, which can just be removed. These pieces act as a protective grommet around the mounting points, helping protect the area from moisture and keeping the connection sealed. Now let's turn the speaker to the bottom where we can remove the battery cover. Using a T15 Torx bit, we can remove the screw holding the door in place and open the compartment. Once the cover is off, we can go ahead and carefully pull out the battery pack. Inside the JBL Xtreme 5 is a 7.2 volt lithium ion battery pack rated around 9444 mAh, giving the speaker up to 24 hours of playback on a full charge. With playtime boost enabled, it can be extended to around 28 hours. The Xtreme 5 also supports USB-C power delivery fast charging, so just 10 minutes of charging can provide you around 2 hours of playback. Also, it can double as a power bank, allowing you to charge your phone or other devices on the go. One of the coolest things about the Xtreme 5 is that the battery is swappable, so you can carry a battery with you for even more playback time. Just don't forget to bring a T15 Torx screw. Next, we'll remove the rubberized bottom cover. To do this, we'll need to remove a total of 10 screws, holding the cover in place. Next, we'll then need to peel the rubber support feet off of the cover to expose 6 additional screws underneath. Once those screws are removed, the entire bottom piece can be taken off. This piece is made from hard plastic with a soft rubberized outer coating, giving it a solid construction while also providing a little extra grip and protection. Now we can start removing the 2 end caps by carefully peeling away the foam tape from each side. Once the tape is removed, we can take out the 5 screws holding each end cap to the body. With the screw removed, we can gently pull off the end cap and carefully detach the tweeter's cable. Each tweeter is secured with 3 screws, which we'll remove to completely free them from the housing. Here we have the two 20mm tweeters. These are responsible for reproducing the high frequency, including vocals and other fine detail in the music. Each tweeter is rated up to 20 watts RMS when the speaker is powered by AC, and 15 watts when running on battery power. Together, this small driver helps give the Xtreme 5 its clear and detailed high-end sound. And here with the side passive radiator end caps. These passive radiators move in sync with the woofer, helping extend the low-end frequency and giving the Xtreme 5 that signature JBL thump. They're built in with a weighted diaphragm and rubber suspension, which are tuned to work with the woofer and to help produce deeper, more powerful bass. Around the edges, there are a protective bumper that you can carefully pry it off, but just note that the passive radiator itself is bonded directly to the end cap. Next, we'll go ahead and remove the main woofer by taking out the 4 screws and carefully disconnecting the cables. Here we have the Xtreme 5 main woofer. Unlike the previous Xtreme 4, which used 2 separate woofers, the Xtreme 5 uses a single, larger 98 by 145mm oval woofer. This driver handles most of the speaker low frequency output and works together with the 2 side passive radiator to produce that deep, powerful bass. The woofer is rated at 90 watts on AC power and 60 watts when running on battery power. Next, we'll turn the speaker onto the side and remove the amplifier board. First, we'll remove all the necessary cable and ribbons and then remove 4 screws. Here we have the amplifier board. The Xtreme 5 uses a high frequency class amplifier with 3 channels, 1 dedicated to the main woofer and 2 to the tweeter. When the speaker is powered by AC, the amplifier can deliver 90 watts RMS to the woofer and 20 watts each to the tweeters, giving us a total of 130 watts RMS. When running on battery power, the output drops to 60 watts for the woofer and 15 watts per tweeters. This power management helps balance performance with battery life, while still giving the Xtreme 5 plenty of power when it's running on battery. With the amplifier board removed, we can now see the motherboard. To remove the motherboard, we will have to disconnect a few ribbon cables and connectors, and then we can pull it out. This is the main board, essentially the brain of the JBL Xtreme 5. It handles Bluetooth 6.0, DSP and audio processing, and communicate with the amplifier, controls, lighting, and the other board throughout the speaker. It also supports features like AI Sound Boost, Smart EQ, and Auracast. Through the JBL portable app, you can also control the 7-band equalizer, lighting, speaker pairing, Auracast, and firmware updates. And with Playtime Boost, you can extend the speaker and playback time up to 28 hours. Next, we'll turn the speaker around to the back and remove the charging board. We'll start by taking out 6 screws holding the cover in place. Once the screws are removed, the cover can be taken off and we can pull the charging board out from the housing. And here we have the charging board. It houses the USB-C connector and handles the power and data connection between the outside port and the speaker internal components. It supports USB-C power delivery for charging the internal battery, while also allowing the Xtreme 5 to output power and function as a power bank. Next, we'll remove the main button control board by taking off 4 screws to remove the cover. With the cover removed, we can take off the board by taking off 2 screws. And here with the button control board. It sits underneath the speaker physical control and contains 6 buttons, which send the corresponding command to the speaker main control electronics. Next, we'll remove the top front RGB lights by first taking off the transparent front cover. We'll remove the 4 screws holding the cover in place, and once the cover is off, the LED board can be simply pulled out. This LED board contains 13 LEDs and provides the Xtreme 5 ambient edge lighting, creating animated light effect that syncs to music. The LED also serves as a visual indicator of power, Bluetooth, battery life, and Auracast. All of these lighting, effects, and indicator are controlled electronically by the speaker main circuitry. We also have a secondary RGB LED board on the lower front side of the speaker. Removing it is pretty much the same as the top one. We'll take out the 4 screws to be able to carefully pull out the board out of the cover. These two LED boards are almost identical and perform essentially the same function, working together to provide the Xtreme 5 ambient lighting and visual effect. Last but not least, we have the battery connector board. There is a small cover held in place by 2 screws, which we'll need to remove to access the board. Once the board is off, we can see the connector board underneath. There's nothing too complicated about this board. Its main job is to connect the battery to the rest of the speaker electronic, allowing power to flow between the battery and the other boards. And finally, we have here the main enclosure. It's made of high impact ABS plastic with internal bracing to help reduce unwanted vibration and to keep the sound tight, even when the speaker is playing at high volume. The enclosure uses a sail design paired with dual passive radiator, which allow the Xtreme 5 to produce deep, powerful bass without the need for a traditional speaker port. And that's a full teardown of the JBL Xtreme 5, from the outer grille all the way down to the motherboard and internal components. Now that you've seen everything that goes into the speaker, I would love to hear what you think. Do you think the JBL Xtreme 5 is worth its price tag based on what's inside? Let me know your thoughts in the comment below. And if you enjoyed this teardown and want to see more video like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I've got more teardown coming soon, so stay tuned for the next one.